The wait is over, ladies and gentlemen. Aaron Rodgers is officially a Jet, and the river, we can move forward now. No more going back. We have moved forward. Jordan Love is our QB1 heading to next season with the Green Bay Packers, ladies and gentlemen. But before we start, let's hear the quick intro. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to PackReacts. I'm your co-host Jeremy, along with our other co-host Mike. And today we'll be discussing Aaron Rodgers officially becoming a Jet. We'll be discussing the trade details, and through that we'll be also discussing what we think the Packers should draft now after this move, catastrophic. When after I literally filmed 2 days ago for my mock draft, it occurs to me now. So that helped me with my mock draft, obviously there, but it has occurred, and Aaron Rodgers is officially a Jet. What are your thoughts, Mike?
Sorry, I'm trying to get the Rangers game on this computer. But yeah, so obviously it happened.
Mm-hmm.
I think a little bit earlier than a lot of people expected. And I think I was expecting towards the end of the week that they were going to take more time.
Mm-hmm.
It's possible that they weren't really that far off ever because I'm not really sure what changed other than, they probably had some kind of agreement and just figured to wait. I don't know. The timing is a little bit weird that they were able to get it done today. Seems like they the information drop right before Gutekunst's press conference, which was interesting. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think this was my deadline for this was a draft day. That was when it's going to be for it. Otherwise, we would have seen this be go so far in the summer. I didn't think that was going to happen. It's finally good to get it over with because both sides, I believe, won this trade. But I think the Packers got a better deal out of this. And it was time for the Packers to finally do this.
Carshiel's a hat trick of saving.
But yeah, I think it was finally time for the Packers to do it.
Yeah. I mean, I would say both sides won. I think the Packers clearly won. To get rid of a player that to get rid of a player that is, what is he, 30? What do you call it, 40, almost 40, if not 40 already. At $60 million a year. Oh, nice, the Rangers scored again. Sorry. Multitasking tonight. I didn't expect to, have a podcast at this time. But, emergency podcasts for emergency measures. So, excuse me if I freak out for a little bit if something happens. But, I think the Packers are the clear winners here. Get rid of that cap hit, let Jordan Love actually have the opportunity to fall in on his own, and sink or swim. He's going to have to learn. That's get to a point where each person has to just run it with it and see if they can do it. If they can't do it, then now we know. If not, if they can't do it, then great. So. Mm-hmm. I think the Packers really have no downside here. What if we would have kept Rodgers, right? What would have happened? We would have
competed Super Bowl.
And you really think this team's a Super Bowl team?
No.
I don't think so. So getting rid of Aaron Rodgers was a necessity. Did they get enough? I think so. I mean, we put on our page before. I told you. Is that something we can pull up here? Or receipts from when I called it? I didn't send you the video. Sorry, but it's on Twitter.
Let me go on it real quick.
Yeah. So while you find it, let me know when you find it. But basically, last episode, which was a few weeks ago. Sorry, guys, for the inconsistency, but it's been the off season, so we've been taking a little bit easy. But we are going to be here on the draft. We're going to have a few guests. Jeremy's been taking the lead there, getting guests like usual. He's the mastermind behind this whole thing. So we're going to have some guests, and it's going to be a fun time. So definitely join in. And we actually have a surprise today. Everyone on the stream, if anybody's on the stream, gets to see some content that's going to come out either later tonight or tomorrow, whenever I decide to put it out. But
All right.
so it's definitely a good stream to join. Do you have it?
Let me get it up here one quick second.
All right, just stop me whenever you have it. But here we go. So, right. So if anyone watched last episode, this was my prediction. April 12th. Just so we know, this was not today.
Okay. April 12th. All right. You want me to play the video now?
Yeah, play it.
Okay.
Be clear. So hear me out real quick. So what do you think about this trade, right?
Okay.
So let's say we switch 13 and 15. So we get their 13, but they get our 15. So we don't get it first this year, but we move up 2 spots.
Okay. That's fine.
And that gives us some value there. And then I want the Jets' best second round pick, which is the Browns one. I think it's like 2 spots higher than theirs. So I want 1 second round, and I want to switch the 13th and the 15th. Now going to next year, right, it's going to be a conditional 3rd round pick. So if nothing happens good for the Jets this year, it'll be a 3rd round pick. Next year, if they make the playoffs, it'll become a 2nd round pick. And if the Jets make the Super Bowl, so not win the Super Bowl, but make the Super Bowl, it becomes a 1st round pick, right? And then in 2025, I can get either a 2nd or a 3rd round, but probably a 3rd round pick, just to be fair about it, if Rodgers comes back for the next year. So as long as he comes back, plays 2 seasons, I get a 3rd round pick in 2025. So, at the very least, I move up 2 spots in the 1st round this year. I get a 2nd in this year, and I get a 3rd next year, right?
Yeah.
But that 3rd next year become a 2nd, or you could even become a 1st if the Jets make the Super Bowl. And then the 2025 pick requires him to come back and play for 2 years to get a 3rd. Yeah. So, I think we almost masterminded this whole deal, or at least I did last week. But
give me some credit here. I said this would be a Carson Wentz kind of deal here, so I think I deserve some credit here.
Okay. No. So this actually this deal came up. Oh, sorry, that's almost a goal. This deal came in my head when I was in like some brunch for my girlfriend's friend, and her sister's boyfriend is a Jets fan, so he was asking me what I thought was a fair trade. So this was what I came up with. And I really think that was a fair trade. And so if that was a fair trade, this is a real good trade for us, because switching the 1st round picks, which some people said don't even touch the 13. Well, they did that. And honestly, that even doesn't help that much. I did the numbers, and so I built out an Excel spreadsheet. This kind of goes into the surprise later on, but that's a little bit more interesting than this. So I guess maybe I'll share my screen and kind of give everyone on the stream a rundown. So I've been doing this since the news broke. So yeah, I've had a real great afternoon just working. But this is what we're trying to do: provide content for you guys. So let me present and let me show you what I've been working on. So I want to share my screen. Not the Rangers game. Otherwise, we'll get a what do you call it?
Copyright.
A copyright thing. Okay, no, definitely not that.
That's fantastic.
Okay, can you see?
I see a black screen from our view. Hold up. Oh, never mind. Now I see our faces all again.
Oh no.
Sorry, do you want me to remove it real quick and then you try to redo it?
1 second.
Okay.
Share screen. Entire screen. Oh, sorry. I hit window. It's like Zoom. I hit the wrong button. Can you see now?
There we go.
You can see the spreadsheet?
I can see the spreadsheet. Let me see if I can make this a little better here. There we go. Now this is now we can see a little bit better here.
Let me see. Okay. Let me go on my phone, YouTube.
Yeah, I can see a lot better here because I cut our faces out. So
perfect. Okay. Go on my phone, YouTube. Cool. All right. So this is what I've been working on, right? Effectively, this is that like draft trade value chart.
Jimmy Johnson
that exists.
Trade value.
I think the PFF or Fitzgerald. This might not be Jimmy Johnson. This is something else.
Okay.
But I don't know. This is the one that I use. So It gives every pick in the draft, right, a point value. So the trade is this, right? We switched the 13th and the 15th picks. Now, if I just do this, right? So the Packers gained 72 points of value there. So not a ton, right? So it really didn't matter much. This is kind of a throw-in, right? And I think in order to offset that, so this is what I should be doing. Let's see how I work on this stuff now. Okay, so you can see, right, we lost 99 points of value from this 5th round, 6th round trade pick, right?
Yeah.
So I think they did this, right, to wipe out this. So this is kind of a throw-in here. The Packers really didn't gain anything by moving up to spots.
Yeah.
Because of this this 5th round swap here with the 6th. But obviously, I think this is a lot more valuable to move up 2 spots in the 1st than have, move back, 37 spots here, right? It's this, and I'm hearing that this could give the Packers the opportunity to get Jackson Smith-Njigba by moving up 2 spots. So I really like this idea. And, if giving this up allowed this, I'm fine with that. But that's a difference in my scenario, is that this didn't happen in my scenario. But that's fine. I don't care. Do you care about a 6th and a 5th?
No.
Because technically we lost this a little. We lost it by 27 points. But that's all right. I'll take it. If we get Jackson Smith-Njigba over 27 points, that's fine with me. But anyway, so the big win here was this 42nd, not getting the 45th, because the 45th would have been 1106 versus 1071, so another 40 points. So, getting that top one was good, right? Mm-hmm. And then it really depends on. Oh no, the Rangers just damn it. Okay, so it all depends on what happens next year, and that's kind of what my video does. So the Packers got a first. I mean, so got a second this year, and more than likely a first this next year, because my conditional was a 3rd round pick, right? Mm-hmm. That could become a 2nd round pick if they make the playoffs. With Rodgers, you would think more than likely the Jets make the playoffs, right? So I was kind of thinking that it would be a 2nd round pick more than likely, right? But in order for it to be a first in my scenario, I said they had to make the Super Bowl, not win the Super Bowl, but make the Super Bowl, which, probably unlikely. But ultimately, the way I viewed it is the only way the Jets really win this trade is if the Packers, if they win the Super Bowl, or at least make the Super Bowl, right? But really win the Super Bowl, right? Because the way we're looking at it from Rodgers, from our perspective, if we kept Rodgers, is we had to win the Super Bowl, right? It's an all-in move, right? So I said, look, the only way they're going to give a first is if they win the Super Bowl, because if they don't win the Super Bowl, they ultimately kind of lose the trade. So, why give up a 1st round pick?
Mm-hmm.
So that was my thinking there. The 3rd round pick in 2025 was to give us some upside if he came back, right? So the Packers really have no upside now that the Rodgers playing another year. Really, our best thing so kind of what happened in this trade, right, is we can completely be against Rodgers and the Jets now. There's no reason for us to like them, other than really there isn't, because the worse the Jets do, the much better we do, right? As long as Rodgers plays 65% of snaps. So you don't want Rodgers to get hurt, because then we can lose this 1st round pick.
Which is 11 games and 1 quarter.
Yeah, right. But so you're right. That's a good point. So you can't have Rodgers get hurt. If Rodgers gets hurt, we get a 2nd round pick, which isn't good in this scenario. But you want the Jets to be the worst team in the league and have Rodgers play. And then that would really help us, and I'll show you why. But ultimately we got a 1st and a 2nd here. If nothing goes wrong next year with Rodgers' health and doesn't make it a 1st, right? Mm-hmm. So I think that's pretty good. 1st and a 2nd, and the 10th pick in the 2nd round, right?
Yeah.
Or actually, I guess the 11th pick in the 2nd round. There's only 31 picks this year, so I mean that's a pretty high 2nd round pick, and a 1st that could be anywhere from 1 to 32. So I think that's very good value for giving up or saving on the cap, getting rid of Aaron Rodgers when he has maybe 1 or 2 seasons left. And, I don't think the Jets are going to be Super Bowl contenders. I just don't see it, even with Aaron Rodgers. I just don't see it. Do you see it?
I see it for me because it depends on a couple things, mostly of how they do in the draft here. Because 15th, I think they're going to take offensive line, and then you have to see what they're going to do the next round. Maybe take a tight end, like what the Packers are kind of looking to do, maybe something like that. That's my concern to see where it goes. Defensively for the Jets, it's good. I mean, they have Sauce Gardner, they have Quinn Williams, they have some great pieces on the defense. For the offense, if Brees Hall can be back to where he is, then that could be a threat. I could definitely see him as a playoff contending team. Super Bowl wise, it just depends if that team can get it flowing, in my opinion. That's how I always see with championship teams. If they have the right chemistry and get it going, Jets are Super Bowl contenders. But for right now, I would have them as playoff contenders. It all depends on what happens in this offseason and how the chemistry goes.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so let me show you kind of what I did here. So, there's a whole bunch of formulas behind it. This doesn't look that crazy, but it is if you actually read the formulas. But anyway, so if I click this button here, right?
Yeah.
You can see who wins the trade in each scenario because there's 64 different scenarios, right? Which is what you see over here.
Jeez.
The Packers get the number 1 pick, or the 64th pick. Anywhere in between, we can get any of those picks. If you click this button, it shows you who wins the trade.
I hope we're losing some value there, but still good.
Oh, yeah, because now we're going back. So now you see the Jets make the playoffs. So if you see the Jets actually never gain. The Packers are always going to have a lot of draft value here. The only way I view the Jets as winning this trade is if they win the Super Bowl, which is what this formula is doing. Is if the Jets have the 32nd or the 64th pick, they win, right? Because they won the Super Bowl in either way.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I'd say the Packers win every other scenario because look at all the value we're gaining draft-wise, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to win draft-wise no matter what. But I think the Jets do win if they win the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Or, Rodgers just comes back and they win the Super Bowl another year. But if the Jets don't win the Super Bowl with Rodgers, they lose this trade by far.
Yeah.
And the reason why is, look, if I make this one, right, the Packers have a chance. And I could just show it here. This is what this section's doing. They have a chance to get anywhere from a value, the number 1 overall pick, and the 10th pick overall in the second round. That's the best case scenario for the Packers. 13th. They go down a little bit because of this negative 27 here. But that's the number 1. Now, I think this is unlikely, but this is an opportunity that the Packers have here. Or worst case scenario, they'll get the equivalent of the number 8th overall pick, right, in value. But really, most likely, is going to be anywhere between the 3rd to the 4th pick, or maybe even the 2nd pick. Anywhere from the 2nd to the 4th pick is the most likely thing here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to get anywhere in value from the 2nd overall pick to the 4th overall pick for a 40-year-old quarterback, that's good. I mean, Rodgers was taken at 27, right? You got him for the majority of his career, got a Super Bowl out of Rodgers, and you still got the number where he should have went overall in the beginning when he was younger, the number 3 overall pick.
Yeah.
In value, right? I think that's a good trade. I don't see how you could ask more than that from Goody.
So this is what I'll. This would be kind of funny in my opinion, is if the Jets. If Rodgers plays, let's say this season, and then Rodgers retires. What the heck do the Jets get out of that all for it then is going to be my question then.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If they don't win the Super Bowl this year, right? And they get 65%, that condition, why would they take that condition? Like, that's almost a guaranteed condition. The only way he doesn't get that is if he gets hurt,
I mean,
because that's what this section's over here. Rodgers is guaranteed to get 65% of snaps. The worst he's got was 88% in 2021, and I think he was hurt a little bit that year, right? But this is because he broke his collarbone in 2017 and 2018.
Yes.
So, this is an anomaly where he got hurt. And obviously, if he gets hurt, then no one can predict that. But if he doesn't get hurt, it's going to be way over 65%, right? They're not going to. Why wouldn't they not play him?
I think it goes back towards like the Russell Wilson trade last year's why they're trying to be careful of like how much can this guy play, even due to his age. I think that's what the factor could be, and especially with the Carson Wentz when he got traded to the Colts, you saw how much playing time he had to play, like over 75%. I think just because of Rodgers' age, that scares them. So that's why they did it that way, but it's gonna most likely be a first round pick anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see how it's not a first round pick unless he gets hurt. I really think that's true. So I don't think that they're going to be. They'd have to go deep into the playoffs to be the fourth. So it's going to be, you're going to get an equivalent of a third to second pick. That's just where I see this area is where the Packers going to get ultimate value over here. And I think that's just a great haul for Rodgers at this point in his career. Could he got more last year? Maybe, but we've already passed that. So at this point, I think this is a good trade. I'm pretty happy, and I think Jets fans should be pretty annoyed that this is what they got. I mean, look, you got Rodgers, but again, now the Jets basically are in the position we were in with a better team around Rodgers.
Yeah,
that's it. I mean, and they just gave away a first and a second. I mean, I don't see how this is a good trade for the Jets unless they win the Super Bowl.
Now, I think the Jets are very desperate, so they're willing to almost do anything just to get something going. But at the same time, this is probably not going to work out for you unless home below they win the Super Bowl. But still, I just don't think it's going to benefit the Jets that much. Now, I think if you're looking from a Jets fan perspective, like, yes, you just got Aaron Rodgers. You just got what is it? You just got so they just got Aaron Rodgers. They basically gave up a first and second round pick. Technically, is what happened. They didn't get rid of the first round pick this year. That's some of the things I think the Jet fans are kind of happy about from this draft. But I think the Packers won in draft value, as you just mentioned, with everything. I think the Packers definitely won draft value. And no way it works, in my opinion, is if the Jets win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's the only way. It's the only way the Jets come out on top here is they win the Super Bowl. Then yeah, sure. Then it's a good trade for both teams, right? Mm-hmm. The Packers got some value, and the Jets won the Super Bowl. So I that's the only way they win. I mean, yeah, they're gonna sell a lot of jerseys. They're gonna sell a lot of tickets, so they'll win monetarily that way. I'm more meaning their fans, right? I mean, how their fans gonna win by the team selling jerseys and what do you call it? Getting money, ticket sales or not. So, maybe they have some fun in the moment, but we've had some fun in the moment. We know where it lends at, up in disappointment, right?
Yeah.
So, good. Have fun in the moment and get disappointed.
I mean, it's true.
I mean, that's what you're asking for, effectively. Now, can they win? I mean, maybe. Like you said, they have a good young team around them, but the AFC is so difficult. I mean, I wouldn't even say that they're the best team in the AFC East. I wouldn't. I still think the Bills are, and I wouldn't even say it's very close. I don't think so. Rodgers is not getting any younger. He can't run the ball anymore. Josh Allen is still a better quarterback to me than Rodgers is at this point of his career. So I don't see how you can say the Jets are a Super Bowl contender. I just don't see it. I mean, can they win? Sure. But if the Packers couldn't win with Rodgers 2 years ago, what makes you think the Jets are going to win with Rodgers this year?
Exactly. That's why I say for the Jets, they're a playoff contending team because they're not going to beat the Bills out for the division. But if you look, like as you mentioned, the AFC is tough. But if you look at it from the entire projection from the East, the North, and the South, and the West, and the AFC, there is a small chance that they could make the playoffs here and there. I think they're tied for being the second best team in the AFC East against the Miami Dolphins, all depending on Tua's injury, but they're definitely better than the Patriots. I would say they're better than the Browns, better than the Steelers. Ravens, it depends on Lamar Jackson. They should be better than almost the entire AFC South except the Jaguars. Definitely better than the Broncos, not better than the Chiefs. Raiders, I think they're better than. Chargers, that's where they're at right now. So I think they're like a wild card contending team, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that's kind of where they're at. And then, see what you can do from there. But, hey, I'm happy that he's going to the Jets. He's going to be in my neck of the woods, so that'll be interesting. But, it gives me a reason to root against the Jets now. I could go to the games and root against them. But, all right. Do you want me to show you what I've been working on? It goes hand in hand with this. So, all right, let me go into this guy.
So the viewers, you guys get a sneak peek of this. I'm gonna, what do you call it?
Ooh.
But I want to see your face, though. I want to see your reaction of it.
Okay.
I want to see if you like it.
All right. And
We got to come back on. All right.
And just to let you folks know, also, if you're fans of Milwaukee sports, the Milwaukee Bucks are currently beating the Miami Heat.
Oh yeah,
92-80.
Nice.
And
That's the other game I need to be watching.
And Giannis officially came back in this game after being out the past couple games.
I've been watching the Rangers, but I gotta watch that game too. Okay, so let's see.
There we go.
We're good. All right,
good.
You ready?
Play.
Hopefully you can. Can we hear the sound?
Your thing's on the mute for the video. It's like if you no. It's on the video. So go back on the video, right where you hit the play. Yeah.
That's on. It's on.
It's on. It doesn't.
Yeah.
I can't even see that. That's like barely. All right, you play it. Let me hear.
All right. Well, I think I need to play it on something else. So I'm gonna go back to the editing page.
You could export it and then you officially get the video.
Yeah, I already did that, but I'm gonna just play it here.
Aaron Rodgers.
Can you hear it?
Yes.
All right.
When's he coming? He's gonna be here. He's gonna
Did it. We did it, Joe.
Are you ready? All right.
That's what I just showed you.
Yeah.
You like the ending?
That is so funny. I love it. That is hilarious. I love that.
Aaron Rodgers.
That is,
Hopefully, no one gets bored with the thing. But what I'm trying to get at here is, what do you call it? You know, the Packers clearly won this trade with the data. You know, I think it's clear that they won the trade.
mm-hmm.
But I like this at the end.
That's it.
Can we make this the outro of the video of the what do you call it, of the podcast at the end? Can we do that?
We should do that.
Let's do that.
We do that.
All right, next video, next podcast, or have that up.
Oh my goodness.
So that's it. So I'm gonna try to post it. I'll see if I could tag some people. Who knows? We don't have a lot of followers, so probably it'll fall on his head. But I want to see if Wes Onkowitz likes it.
Wes would
he'll retweet it.
Yeah, Wes would probably like it. Who else? There would be Tom would love it. Nagler would love it.
Yeah, I'm gonna cheese that TV. I just hope people don't get bored in the Excel part, but like that's important. Like that's if you care about whether or not people said who won the trade, like, and we wanted to just say like that's who won, like that's the data behind it, like that's it, Yeah. So I think it's important to see every scenario that could happen, and that's what I tried to lay out there, and add some entertainment too.
I think you're the next Ken Ingalls of knowing your stuff here. I think that's what
I could take Ken Ingalls on if I really tried. I'm not that bad at Excel. I'm pretty good. I could take him on if I wanted to try, but I don't know the cap as much. I thought about trying to learn if I wanted to, but he also does a good job. It isn't. He already does it. Like I don't want to steal his thunder, but I am going to try to get more Excel Packers stuff going. I think it's fun.
It is.
But it's people get bored though. They're like, oh, all these numbers. I don't want to care about that. But like that's what's important. So I tried to add some laughter to it too. Maybe people will find that more interesting.
Yeah, that was definitely good. All right, so if you're Brian Gutekunst right now, what are you drafting here on Thursdays? We have the draft coming up soon. We're doing a draft live stream.
Yeah, we're doing a draft live stream. I still have done no research on the draft. I'm sorry.
You can go watch my video. I just premiered it today.
I will. Yeah, I will.
Okay.
You should have told me the premieres. I would have watched it live while I was making it.
I just put it up very quickly, and then you texted me like, "You want to go live?" I was like, "Oh shoot, I forgot we're gonna have the live stream tonight."
Yeah. So this is a last minute thing. So we're gonna get better with me notifying people that there's a live stream. We don't do that. But we will for the next season. There's going to be notification on the draft. I mean, obviously, we're going live on the draft. Who's not going live on the draft? So
Exactly.
all right. So who do we get? I mean, like I said before, my guy is Jackson Smith-Njigba.
That's my guy too.
I didn't think that they were going to get him. Moving up 2 spots, I think that they could. I think they could get him. I think they could get Peter Skoronski. I would like that pick. I'd like. I have not done a ton of research on him, but I keep hearing a lot of good things about Christian Gonzalez, the cornerback. Apparently, he's really good. I'm going to look. Actually, my plan is tonight is to look into him some more. I did some research, but not enough.
He's the best CB in my opinion in this draft.
Yeah.
He's the best. He's the best corner. Peter Skoronski is the grandson of Bob Skoronski, a Packer legend who played for Vince Lombardi. Jackson, that's my dream pick is to get him. Now I don't know how well the Packers would take him because of the heights, because they like to take a little bit higher, even though he's 6'1", he's 196 pounds. Because sometimes they go if it's on a the height is what they like. Big guys like a Quentin Johnson has more heights, like 6'3", but Jackson would fit the Packers so good, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, those are the 3. Those are my guys right now. Those 3. I do think that the Packers, if he's on the board, probably will take Jackson over anybody. And the reason why is because we've neglected that position for too long. Last year, I know they got Christian Watson. I know they got Romeo Doubs. I was really into Romeo Doubs in the beginning of the season. He got hurt. He came back, and he kind of took a step back once he was sharing the load with Christian Watson.
Mm-hmm.
I still believe in him. Obviously, I believe in Christian Watson, but you need to set up Jordan Love to succeed, right? Rodgers is gone. We've known that for a while, but now he's totally gone. So that ship has sailed. That's never coming back.
Mm-hmm.
All we got right now is Jordan Love, right? You know, this NFL is ran through the passing game and run through the quarterback. You need to set up Jordan Love to succeed. And if you don't set him up to succeed early on in his career, that it could really set this organization back.
Yes.
That's why I really think that the Packers need to prioritize offense here. We've deprioritized offense for too long, especially at the higher picks. I mean, look, last year, all defense. So, like, would I like Christian Gonzalez? Probably. Probably he's a real good quarterback. But the thing is, do we really need another piece at cornerback? We do. We think we do. But, like, just
not that big, though. Not that big of a need.
Prioritization. That's what it comes to. I think we need to prioritize Jordan Love's development and giving him options. Now, Peter Skoronski, you could say, well, left tackle is more important to a quarterback than receiver, and I'd agree. But we do have Bakhtiari this year. I mean, he's definitely not going to the Jets now, right?
Yes.
Do I think we're going to have him next year? No. So that means that left tackle is a big need.
Sit under Dave Bakhtiari a little bit here and learn from the best.
Agree, but is that going to help Jordan Love now have a good season to build upon for the future? No. So, I think if you're a quarterback, right, and you have no one to go to and you're looking around, who do I go to, right?
Yeah.
That's not very good confidence, right?
Oh.
I mean, if you go to war and you're the only guy out there, you have no brothers beside you helping you, you're going to be, oh, I'm by myself, right? That's kind of what Rodgers felt, right? But I don't want Jordan Love to feel like that because, we need him to develop. So you almost need to nurture him with places to go and good young talent to grow with throughout his career. And I think Jackson Smith-Njigba will be the perfect fit to step into that role and help this team move forward. Is it the most priority need for a football team? No. But is it the best priority need for Jordan Love?
Yes.
I think so. Now, in theory, the offense, probably the biggest thing would be a Peter Skoronski pick or a left tackle. But, I really think that we need to nurture this new young quarterback through his career and give him some good weapons. I mean, think about Rodgers. He had Jordy Nelson. He had Greg Jennings. He had James Jones.
Donald Driver.
Right?
Michael Finley.
Right.
Greg Jennings.
Donald Driver was a nice – and I think we need a veteran presence in the room to help him.
I totally
agree.
I
don't know if we – and that's what Donald Driver kind of that was his role. We don't really have that right now at all. I mean, who's our most veteran receiver?
Yeah, it would.
No, I don't know. Randall Cobb's gone.
Yeah, Randall Cobb's gone. I think if I'm looking at it right here, the only guy is maybe like a guy who doesn't even get played that much. I mean, right now all we have is Christian Watson, Romeo Dobbs, Samari Toure, Bo Melton, and Jeff Cotton.
Yeah, no, that's not going to do it. So you're going to have to add some kind of veteran presence in that room after this draft. Is it going to be a great veteran presence? Probably not. But it's going to have to be some sort of veteran presence in the room. But
Yeah,
that's not going to cut it. That's why I really think Jackson Smith and the Jigba needs to be your number one target here.
Yeah.
You got other pieces in the line that's going to help. Maybe you get somebody next year with that first round you began from the Jets, number 1 overall pick. Let's just make that happen, right? The Packers probably going to be picking pretty high next year, so you could get a left tackle next year. I really think if Jackson Smith and Jigba was on the board, you got to go that route. And I don't even think you could go the defensive route, even if you got a Christian Gonzalez on the board, even if you have one of the better outside linebackers on the board. I think you just got to go offense.
Yeah. I mean, I totally agree with you. I mean, there has been rumors that they might take edge because of how good this edge draft class is, but I'm like, you could take an edge later rounds because it's not
you got to take them later.
Like they're gonna yes, it's a need for us because Preston Smith's getting old. Rashawn Gary's not gonna be back around time. It is a need, but I don't think we should prioritize that in the first round. If anything, you would dress offense, and what I'm gonna be walking out here is either Pierce Gronsky, an offensive tackle, a wide receiver. I don't want a tight end in the first round. It's too high, in my opinion. It's too
high. Yeah,
too high. Like I would go because we got the Jets pick now. I would not be surprised if we're going to trade up to get a lot of second round picks because this is supposed to be a good draft day 2 of prospects coming in. And the one guy that has been, besides Jackson, that's been on my number 1 radar is Darnell Washington. That is a beast. He's pretty much a Mercedes Lewis 2.0.
Yeah.
I would want that.
Personally, I like Darnell Washington, but not in the first. Nowhere in the first. No. I would go probably one of the other guys, high first, late first, high second.
Yeah.
Like Mayer or Kincaid.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would go like Darnell Washington on like the 42nd pick. I get him and then probably get like a rush. What do you call it? Outside linebacker or high priority defensive pick with our pick in the second round. But I wouldn't be surprised if now they have 2 second rounds. They trade up like they did last year. Try to get somebody later in the first.
Mm-hmm.
Because now we have a pretty high second round pick with we have 2 pretty high second round picks. So you could probably trade both of those and get back into the first and get a Mayer at 29 or something.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, the other consideration that we have to consider is safety is another need. But the only one for me, in my opinion, because the safety class is not that great, in my opinion. The only one I'm looking at is Branch, but he did not have a great combine, so I don't want him.
No, I'm totally against Branch, and I'll tell you why. Just where the value you'd have to get him. I think we're all on the same page. It's kind of like a Savage, where there wasn't a great safety class that year, and this is okay. This is probably one of the better safeties in the class. But if there's another class, maybe he wouldn't be the better safety. He'd be like the second, third, fourth option, right? I think he's just the number 1 option because it's just not a strong class. So I'm not going to get him high up just because I need a safety. I think we need to. This team has too many holes to be cherry picking holes. There's no way the Packers are going to win a Super Bowl this year. So this right now, I don't care. I don't care. What I care about is the long term. So I could, Jeremy, you and I could be safety, and they could score touchdowns all the time. It doesn't matter. Like, we're not going to win a Super Bowl. So what's going to help this team moving forward is getting a good quarterback, right? Somebody that can run this offense, can be comfortable, understand the scheme, and just learn. And then we need to know this year if Jordan Love is going to be the guy. And the way we're going to know that is by nurturing him, giving him an opportunity to succeed. And if he doesn't succeed with the opportunity to succeed, well, then we got a problem. But if he give him an opportunity to succeed and he succeeds, then we can move forward.
Mhm.
The Packers are going to have to pick a quarterback this draft. There's no doubt about it. Now, they're going to pick him in the first round, second round, third round, probably not. But the fourth round, I think, is where you'd pick a quarterback. Maybe even the third round. I wouldn't pick him in the first or second, but third or fourth, I think, is where they need to pick a quarterback. Do you disagree? Seems like you disagree.
I disagree a little bit here. At first, before, if you asked me before like the show, I was like pro for like drafting a quarterback. That's probably what's happened. But in my take, I think you need to add a veteran, which I would take Matt Ryan as my veteran backup quarterback because he knows the system of Matt LaFleur. He won an MVP with him, and Matt Ryan can kind of help Jordan Love out and kind of help develop him. So I think that'd be good. Or a very cheap veteran is what I like to keep because I don't want like a young guy. I want like a veteran who can kind of help out Jordan Love instead of like since he got Aaron Rodgers all this time as a veteran. I'd like somebody else in there to help out to give him a new perspective.
I agree. I mean, I think almost the Packers should probably have 3 quarterbacks this year.
Yeah.
I don't think you go into the season with 2. I mean, again, we're not a Super Bowl contending team. Let's not pretend that we are. So it's not like the prior years where, each spot is pivotal. Like, if anything, we probably have too many holes. So I think you have to keep 3 quarterbacks. I think you got to have a pretty decently high – because Matt Ryan, let's say bring Matt Ryan in. He's not going to be your go-to number 2 for the future, right?
Yeah.
So you need a quarterback you could develop behind Jordan Love too. And maybe Jordan Love isn't the guy, and then maybe he steps kind of like what Brock Purdy was. I know Brock Purdy was a 7th round pick, but there's also no guarantee that Jordan Love's not going to get hurt. We haven't seen Jordan Love play. Like Rodgers was pretty good at not getting hurt, but there's a lot of quarterbacks that get hurt, right? So I mean, maybe if he gets hurt, you probably want Matt Ryan coming in before this rookie anyway. But, you want somebody that is younger and has some upside. Matt Ryan has no upside, It's almost like having Rodgers come in. Just probably a much worse version of Rodgers at this point, but a much cheaper version,
Yeah.
So I want somebody that has an opportunity to succeed. Not necessarily a 7th round pick, not necessarily an undrafted pick. I think Brock Purdy was probably the outlier than anything. You need somebody that has an opportunity to succeed, and that's why I think you need a 3rd or 4th round pick quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't disagree that we should get probably a veteran. I mean, I think you need a veteran.
Because what I'm looking at right now, the free agents out there is Matt Ryan, Carson Wentz, Teddy Bridgewater, Trevor Siemian, Joe Flacco, Mason Rudolph, Josh Johnson, who was in the NFC Championship game for the 49ers after the Brock Purdy, and then after that, they have John Wolford, who played against the Packers last year in that Monday Night Football game. He's 27 years old. There's Bryce Perkins from the Rams, which he played in the Chiefs game too. There's Chase Daniel, who's a 36-year-old quarterback from the Chargers. Tom Brady technically is, but he's not going to. If you saw this recent social media post, he's out with his family member watching the UCLA softball game.
Family member? Who?
It was his niece.
Niece.
It was on social media, and literally it took a photo watching, and he was sitting in the stand watching the UCLA softball game.
Interesting. The name that kind of stuck out to me when you said that list was John Wolford. I think I don't know. Maybe he's only 27.
Yes, he's only. Well, pull him. Let me go back to my thing.
I think we need somebody who's had experience being a backup before and kind of developing another player. I think that's almost what this job is right. We don't really want you to play. We want you to develop the younger guys.
Mm-hmm.
You're almost like a player coach, kind of like what Josh McCown was for Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
Not that ended up pretty well, but I think that's kind of what this job is. So I don't know. That's just the name that stuck out to me. I could be not right about that, but I don't think Matt Ryan comes to the Packers. I don't think that's really a great fit. I'll be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I think probably one of those other names is going to be the route. I don't think Teddy Bridgewater comes to the Packers. I think there's going to be a team that actually needs him at some point, or I just don't see Teddy Bridgewater coming to the Packers. Probably going to be too expensive.
Yeah, I mean John Wolford has played 3 years. And I just mentioned he's 27 years old. His contract was less than $1 million. It was 895,000 of his base salary last year, and that's what I see out of him. And he was undrafted in 2018 and he signed with the New York Jets.
Yeah, I feel like that's like a good option. But yeah, I don't know. That could just be my opinion. What about Baker Mayfield? Is he still with the Rams?
He went to the Buccaneers.
Really?
Yeah.
Does he have a chance to start there?
Yeah, he's going to be the
Oh,
starter.
really?
Yeah, he's going to be the starter there.
I must have missed that.
I wanted Baker Mayfield, but I mean, it's between him and the Florida kid, not Anthony Richardson, the other Florida guy. They got Kyle Trask, I believe.
Oh, yeah, right.
So this is what they're. I think they're going to be very terrible next year.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be good. Oh, you don't think Kyle Trask will be the quarterback?
I think Baker Mayfield's going to get it.
Yeah.
I think because of the veteran, and I think Baker has legit shot. I wanted him because he showed as being a backup last year with the Rams that he could get the job done. He's only 28 years old.
Yeah, he's my age. Yeah. Yeah. No, I would have liked Baker Mayfield. My friend actually went to high school with him in Texas. So I like Baker Mayfield. But yeah, I guess that's not going to happen. But I don't know. The John Wolford name stands out to me. That's just what stood out to me when you were listening it out. But let's see if we come back and I'll be right like the trade. But I don't know. I really don't know on this one. But I agree. I think we need a veteran quarterback presence in the room, and I think we need a what do you call it? A young guy that we draft. I don't really get the Jets getting Tim Boyle. Do you know that they signed Tim Boyle? I mean, is that one of Rodgers' wish list signings?
I guess so. Is my guess.
I mean, I'm assuming that's what it had to be. But like,
Probably.
Why would you want Rodgers, Zach Wilson, and Tim Boyle on your team?
Because I feel like they can rely on Tim Boyle a lot more and have more competition against Zach Wilson.
You think they could rely on Tim Boyle more than Zach Wilson?
I believe so, because Zach Wilson is a bum and he's not that good. He's a bust.
Yeah, but Tim Boyle sucks. I like Tim Boyle, but like every time he's played, he's been absolutely terrible.
I mean, I think Zach Wilson's not that good either, but I'd rather have some competition for it.
I don't know. I find it hard to see how that kind of works other than just you being Rodgers' friend.
I mean, that's what it's got to be. If you want to be on his team, just be his friend. You'll get on the team.
It seems like what it is. And it's kind of like, I don't think that's cool with Zach Wilson. Like, what are the Jets doing with Zach Wilson? Like,
he's just staying there. He's done.
I don't get it. Right. Like, it's like, all right, now you got Rodgers in there. Okay. I get it. I get you're in a win now mode. I get why you bring Rodgers in. You bring in Tim Boyle, who he's going to be more friendly with than Zach Wilson, right? So this whole thing about Rodgers helping Zach Wilson. Now, if anything, he's going to probably help Tim Boyle, right? And be cooler with him. So Zach Wilson's kind of like the ugly stepsister or whatever, right? Like,
yeah,
he's kind of like the odd man out. So why don't they just get rid of Zach Wilson and trade him away?
I don't think anybody wants him. That's the problem. Like, there's been nobody calling for him, I think, because there's the other competition for Zach Wilson is Trey Lance is up there for consideration to be traded, but no one is calling out for a quarterback. Because I think that they can get a much cheaper guy if, like, for the Colts, for instance, or the Texans or the Panthers, they're just going to go for that because Panthers try with the veterans with Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Teddy Bridgewater. That did not work out. Texans, they had Davis Mills. They need a franchise guy. Colts, they try veterans. It's time for them to invest in a new guy. So I don't think, like, with those kind of moves are going to help them out here and there.
Yeah. Oh.
And
the whole thing is weird. It's gonna be an interesting season, but from our perspective, I think we just have to rebuild.
Yeah, I mean, currently, when I'm looking at Zach Wilson's contract, he signed a 4-year, $35 million contract for the New York Jets, including $22 million signing bonus, $35 million guaranteed with it. His annual salary of $8 million. His dead cap value of $20 million over. He's a free agent in 2026.
Okay. So they got 2 years of him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be the 2 more expensive years of his contract, being the number 2 overall pick. So yeah, there's not much value there if you don't think he's worth the number 2 year, because right, he'd probably at this point kind of be like Josh Allen, where not get what do you call it, or he won't even be a starter moving forward. So why do you want to pay that kind of money for a backup? Because he's gonna be making quite a bit as number 2 overall pick at the end of his rookie deal.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, the Jets kind of in an interesting spot there. But you know, they got a good young team, and Aaron Rodgers, or adding Rodgers at this point, is going to propel them to become better this year. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
The thing is, are they good enough? Are they good enough to win the Super Bowl? There's only one team each year.
Yep. I don't know.
One team out of each conference. If they were in the NFC, I'd say, yeah, I'd probably see it.
I don't know.
In the AFC, you think he's going to beat Mahomes? You think he's going to beat Josh Allen?
I said wild card. I said wild card contending team. That's all. That's the best I see out of them. I don't see him like, if we're talking playoffs, I can maybe see him win one playoff game. That's it. Maybe one with an upset. That's the only miracle I give up.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you could say, well, just get to the dance and see if you make it. But it's not like Rodgers is Tom Brady. If he was Tom Brady, he gets there and he continuously wins. Okay. But Rodgers gets there and then he shows you that he can't get it done. Yeah. So, like, what makes you think there's going to be any different here? That's what I don't get. And to take this big of a risk on a team that's budding, right? This is my problem with the deal for the Jets, right? The Jets are right there. All they need is a quarterback, and then they'll be real good, right? But you're telling me you trade for Rodgers, right? Okay, this year maybe you win the Super Bowl, right? But now again, I'm all in on this year. So I win the Super Bowl this year, I'm okay, right? All right, maybe I don't win this year, but he comes back next year. Again, I'm all in on the Super Bowl with Rodgers, right? Do you really think he's going to come back a third year? Probably not, right? And also, he's making $60 million a year, right? So, like, a huge cap hit, right? So, you're all in. Like, the Jets were right there. They were right about to be, all they needed was a good young quarterback, and they could be the next Bills. They could be the next Chiefs. Now they became the Packers.
Yeah.
They became the Packers. And you see where the Packers are right now. Do you want to become the Packers? Or do you want to become the Chiefs or the now the Packers could become the Chiefs or the Bills, right?
Yeah.
If Jordan Love turns out to be a good young court player, right? Now we just need to start building a team around him, right? Mm-hmm. Now the Packers have a lot of other issues where now Jordan Love's at the end of his deal, you're going to have to pay him, and he's not going to get on a cheap deal, right? But so that's a problem. But the Packers have some upside in the long run if they do this right. The Jets did it right. And now they're trying to accelerate their growth to right now. Instead of just continuing to do it right, and then you'll be smooth sailing. That's what I don't sit with. It doesn't sit well with me.
Well, at least
I think they could do it right. Have a lot of cap issues because of Rodgers, right? Yeah. Not be able to resign all the guys that they got, right, after their deal ends, or not get new players that do, or get far and not have too good of a draft pick where they're in kind of the Packers no man zone where we had a good season, did make the Super Bowl, and had a low first round draft pick.
Mm-hmm.
It'd almost be better for the Jets to have a bad season, get a quarterback young, and then try it again. Than do this with Rodgers, because Rodgers is a 1-year rental or a 2-year rental, maybe a 3-year rental if he really likes it. I mean, how old can he get and continue to play?
Yeah.
I mean, maybe he really likes the Jets and wants to stay there and doesn't complain, and maybe. But I don't think he's going to be Brady. I don't think he's going to have the longevity that Brady did.
No, I think he'll be okay. It's just like, as we always say, the playoffs he doesn't do well in, obviously. But it's like how it was like with the Broncos a couple years ago. Broncos wanted Aaron Rodgers. They were close to getting him, and they didn't because they were one quarterback away. And now look at them. They're terrible. You look at the Jets.
That's it.
Boom. So
The
if you're
Buccaneers.
there's
Buccaneers are a great example, and they didn't overpay for. They didn't have to give up anything for him, right? They were good, right? They had a good defense around him, right? And then Brady's gone, and that's it. Now they're not good again. Like,
exactly.
do you want to change the foundation of the team and just completely get the ship in the right direction, or do you want to accelerate or rush it too much and go into an iceberg in the Titanic, right? Do you want to try to get? Do you want to? You built this nice new ship. The Titanic is a great example of this, right? It just built this nice new ship,
Titanic.
right? And they're like, all right, well, let's rush it now. Let's go. And what did they do? They blew it up. They blew up the ship because they ran into an iceberg. Instead of just taking the time, again, they would have had this nice new ship that they would have brought around, and it would have been perfect. But instead, now they're trying to rush it, and either they win and they make it there quickly and they set a new record and it's great and everyone's so happy, or they run into an iceberg and then they lose.
I mean, I compare it to the Pirates of the Caribbean of pirate shipping because they always rush for it. They always rush for a better ship. They always rush for it. So that's where I make my comparison of your shipping, sir, mate. And I would also say the Colts as another example, because the Colts, they've been one quarterback away all this time, and they try to go veteran, didn't work out. Like, nothing's worked out for them. They have all the weapons surrounding them. Nothing's working out. Like, that's a thing. Now the Raiders are a little getting up there. But like, a bunch of teams are one quarterback away, and they just try to push it too much, try to push that needle, and it's just not working. You got to let the river flow. As I always say, we're not stuck in the river anymore. And I'm glad to say that as a Packers fan.
Yeah,
we moved on. We went down the side. Yeah, we had to go either move this way towards leaving Aaron Rodgers or keeping Aaron Rodgers. We had to make one decision or other. Now it's gone. We've flown down the river. Aaron Rodgers is gone. Safe. No more cap hit. We saved some, even though we're going to probably have to pay $40 million dead cap here and there. We make good trade value, and we're set for the longevity. We're set for the long term. The short term, that's going to hurt us. We're going to have to fight for these years. But what would you rather have, the short term or the long term?
Yeah, I agree. And I think it almost comes down to mentality here, right? Yeah. The Jets have a mentality in New York. Oh, we got to win. We suck. We got to win. And it's like it doesn't work, right? I think they're trying to force it.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Packers are a more stable mentality. This is the way we do things. It makes sense. Now, did the Packers make some mistakes here? I think they did.
Yes.
I think they should have done this last year, right? And they probably held on a year too long. But now is the right time to make the move. And they did it, which is good. And I feel like, a lot of the weight is off our shoulders,
Yes.
There's some finality to this. We know there's a known, it's not unknown anymore. And the Packers got some really good trade value, I think. I think this is fair trade value for at this point in time. And even last year, I mean, what did Russell Wilson go for? I just want to see what Russell Wilson went for.
Russell Wilson required at least a first-round pick, I remember. There was, I believe, a second or third round involved in it. Too. It exchanged also the Seahawks got Drew Lock, and Noah Fant was the biggest name that the Seahawks acquired besides the draft picks. But it was Drew Lock, Noah Fant, Shelby Harris, 2 first-round picks, the 2022 9th overall pick, and the 2023 overall pick, which is currently like the 5th pick right now, 2 second-round picks. Last year's was the 40th overall pick in the 2022, and 2023, I don't know off the top of my head, and a 2022 5th-round selection for the Seahawks for Russell Wilson and a 2022 4th-round pick.
Wow, that was a good. We're nowhere near that.
Yeah,
I mean, forget about Noah Fant, Shelby Harris, and Drew Lock. I mean, Noah Fant's a good player. Drew Lock obviously that's a throwaway. Shelby Harris good? I'm not 100% sure.
He used to be good, but he's not that good anymore.
Okay. So they got the 9th overall pick last year, right? Then the 2nd round pick, which is the 9th pick then, right? The 9th pick and the 2nd overall pick's like the 41st.
Yeah.
Then they got the 5th overall pick this year and the 5th overall pick in the 2nd round this year. Wow, man.
Yeah.
That was a great trade for the Seahawks.
It was a great trade for the Seahawks. That's probably what we could have gotten out of the in Broncos, we probably could have gotten that.
Yeah,
But-
but Aaron Rodgers is probably not gonna. They're not gonna be the 5th worst team in the NFL with Aaron Rodgers. But damn, wow, that's some good value.
Yeah, that was. I'm just glad we got the trade done than we just rather not did because he almost retired. So I'd rather get something out of it than nothing if he just
Yeah.
retired.
Yeah,
I'll take
if
that.
they could have got that, and they would have got the 9th overall pick guaranteed, right? I mean, there's no doubt about that.
Mhm.
Man, see that's what you lost out by waiting a year. But
I
we
think
got
it's still worth it.
something.
We got something good.
You can't cry over spilled milk at this point. So, yeah.
Mhm.
So good trade for the Packers. We can move on, but like you said, there's going to be some pain on our end. I think we're going to suck.
Yeah, I mean, I think it just comes down to like I always like short term and long term because a lot of people, because I think this happens a lot in life to people, is they think about their end goal, they think about their dream job, what they want to accomplish in the long run, like what they want to end on, of like their job career, but they don't think of the steps to getting to that. They don't think the short term plan. They don't think about the steps to do that. The Packers are thinking that way. They are. This draft is going to help them do the short term of setting up the picks and for longevity for Jordan Love. A lot of teams like to do short term, and that was me for a couple of years of like with Aaron Rodgers especially. Short term, this is the moment where you have to win another Super Bowl. You have to win. Like that was when you have Rodgers, you always focus on the short term. You don't think about the longevity. So with Jets, again, it's gonna be 2 years for them at least, but that's it. Like it's gonna be you roll the dice. You hope you win a Super Bowl. If you don't, well, you spend everything on that. You went all in, and look what happened. Like it's a boom or bust, in my opinion. Either you do well and you succeed with the Super Bowl, or that was the worst trade ever. That's how it comes down to.
Yeah, but yeah. So that's where we're at.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be interesting. We got the draft coming up. We got some good value there. It's gonna have to be a good draft. They have to.
This is where
Every
Goody's on the line here. This is his draft.
Yeah.
If you mess this up, goodbye, Goody. That's where we're at with Packer fans, in my opinion.
I agree. And like check mark in mind for how Goody made this trade. I think this is the right value at this point for Rodgers.
Mhm.
So I like that. I don't like that he didn't trade him last year, but that's an X. But we'll get over that. It's over at this point.
Mhm.
But what isn't negotiable is having a good draft. This draft and next year's draft. I don't think Goody's gonna be out after this year, but if he has 2 bad drafts in a row,
Then he's gone.
yeah, I think you have to say goodbye because the Packers are in danger of really being a bad team for a long time if we don't draft well.
Exactly. This is a draft you have to ace on. You have to do very well on, in my opinion, to set up to succeed in the long term. You got to focus, like Packers got to focus on short term right now, which is the steps of this draft. Those are going to help you in the long term goal of what you want to accomplish with Jordan Love. So they got to focus on the short term to get to the long term, in my opinion.
Yeah. All right. All that value, my spreadsheet looks good. Like I spent a lot of time. I like it, whatever. But all of it means zero, right? If you don't actually get somebody to play, you can't send the spreadsheet out and play football, right? You got to have somebody that actually is worse, right? So you have to use that capital, that value, right, to get actual people that are worthwhile on there, right? The Jets did that in the past. Now they're hoping that Rodgers is the missing piece to get them over the hump. But the Packers need to use this capital that they've acquired from getting rid of Rodgers and whatever. Like they need to use it to get a really good pieces to build this team in the future. Because right now we're used to having a crutch, someone to fall back on, a Hall of Fame quarterback.
Yeah,
that's gone. That's way gone. And now that it needs to be a team effort, LaFleur, this is where he's gonna make his money. We're gonna know now if LaFleur is a good coach.
We're gonna know the real deal of Gutekunst and LaFleur. We're gonna know about that.
Yeah, because if Jordan Love looks good, that's gonna mean that LaFleur's coaching him right. Right? If LaFleur looks terrible, it's gonna mean he's not coaching him right. There's no historical knowledge anymore that exists.
Yeah.
Right? It's like if you took a company, cut off all the people that know what they're doing, right? And just bring in a bunch of people from college, right? someone's got to teach these guys. They're just coming in. They're like, well, I don't know I don't know where the bathroom is, right? I don't know where I'm going. This is what's going on here. I mean, Jordan Love's been in the building for 4 years, right? But he hasn't really been playing football. A lot of what Rodgers did, right, was he knew where the defense was, and he understand mentally knew everything. That's something that's to be incredibly difficult to replicate. And that's something I'm not going to even sugarcoat a little bit. Like I think we got good value, all that. But the one thing Rodgers brings to the table that no other quarterback in probably NFL history ever has brought is how smart he is.
Yeah.
I think he's the smartest I think he's probably one of the smartest NFL players ever. And he's obviously very talented physically. And, he's a great thrower of the ball. He's very accurate and can make a lot of physical plays, and athleticism is off the charts. But his mental ability is just not many people have that. And it's not going to be something you can replicate. And it's not going to go away with getting older either. So that's something the Jets are getting that's different than any other quarterback at that age. And to them, that's a good, good sign. But I think, I don't think Jordan Love's going to be able to replicate that. But what I think Jordan Love can, all right, I think this is important, right?
Okay.
I say everything about Rodgers' ability, smartness, right? But he has this past year clearly not put a lot of effort in, right? There's a difference. You can have a lot of mental ability, right? But if you don't put the effort in, it doesn't matter about your mental because you don't put the effort. You need to be smart and have put the effort in, right? From up there, right? He didn't. I mean, he didn't show up to camp on time.
No.
To the voluntary parts of it. He wasn't doing off-season things with the players, getting people in, right? He wasn't going the extra mile to succeed. That's a problem. I think he got to an age where his life was more important than winning.
Mm-hmm.
And when he was there, he would spend the time. But when he wasn't there, he wouldn't put in the extra effort. This is where Jordan Love needs to go above and beyond. This is his opportunity now. This is his team. He kind of did it with Aaron Jones, and that's why I don't know if you saw it. They were out there.
Yeah,
that's great, and I'm happy about that. But what I want to see is, Aaron Jones out there, and Aaron Jones is a great thing for him to take a lead because now he's a veteran, right? I want to see Aaron Jones. I want to see Jordan Love. I want to see Watson. I want to see Dubs. They're at the facility now, but when they're away from the facility, I want them to have a week thing. Go somewhere, right? Go to a beach, something. I don't know, but have a team event, right? Just you guys get to know each other, right? Maybe after the draft, get the rookies involved. Just throw the ball around and film it. Get some guy to come out and film. Show the fans, like, look, we actually care. We're doing this. Just doing that, right? Maybe it has no impact on the season or whatever, but it'll just give all the fans, it'll give everyone more comfort that these guys actually care compared to where Rodgers was when he didn't really care. To grow the team outside the building.
Right, that was the thing with Rodgers is like he did do that stuff, but he didn't do that with the young guys. He only did it with his good buddies like Bakhtiari. He did that during the MVP year. Like he did care, and he would do that
for his own friends.
Yes,
not for the team.
Yes, but it was besides the Halloween party that he always goes to. The difference was that this year he wasn't putting much effort in with the young rookies. That was a big difference in my opinion with that. To see that where Rodgers, he would hang out, as I mentioned, with Cobb, Adams when he was on the team. He would do that stuff way during his time and when the Packers have a party. But like you saw last year, he didn't show like he would hang out with like the young guys with Christian Watson, wouldn't hang out with Romeo Dobbs, so wouldn't get to do the team chemistry a whole lot more. That was a problem for me in the offseason things. So that was concerning me. And I want to bring up an example of this, which I was watching the Kings and Warriors game the other night, was when Mike Brown, who won Coach of the Year for the in the NBA for the Sacramento Kings, he brought up a point of Sabonis, who's a starter for the Kings. He talked about like early in the season, Sabonis was like coming on to the team. He was like, he got traded there all of a sudden, and he invited the teammates. He invited like the starters and the bench players even to all come out to his his vacation place that he was at. Invite him to come over 3 days, get a gist of like build some chemistry, work together as a team, and do more practicing before the season began. That is something that Rodgers lacked. This is what's something I need to see with Jordan Love, as we just saw with Aaron Jones. This is something I need to see him with A.J. Dillon, Christian Watson, Romeo Dobbs, the new people that are going to come in the draft. Even the defense, honestly. Like, you want to get much more vibes, get the whole team building around, even if it's offensive defense. You could challenge and do some challenges like Jordan Love and have Christian Watson facing Jair Alexander. Like, do something fun, exciting with that. That's what I need to see out of that. So that's one thing there. I also want to go back to where you were mentioning with the Excel sheet of like you put so much hard work in it and it could just all go, it could go worse. That was me with my playoff machine. Remember when I told you of like all the scenarios and how it worked? What happened there?
What do you mean?
Remember
for the playoffs?
Yeah, remember how I made that whole playoff machine? I broke it down in a video of like what scenario each for the Packers to make it to the postseason.
You were right. I mean, but then they lost. But
exactly
right. I mean, but that was one of your scenarios that they lost, right? So the data worked, right? But
yeah.
in the draft, what happens is, right, like this value is important, but that also means that you can draft well, right? Yeah, if you get the number 2 overall pick, it's a really valuable position. But then you get Zach Wilson, and now that value went up in smoke, right?
Yeah.
So just because you have the value, it's up to the GM to make the right decision, right? Your thing, right? Like that was hard data. If they won or lost, like you have to win. That's the decision is winning or is competing. But this is a decision where, I mean, there's other variables that could go on. Someone picks it for you. There's not much you could do there. But it's really up to Goody here to get the job done. It's all on him. It's not on the team. It's on him.
Yeah. I mean, you could be like Howie Roseman, where he drafted Jalen Reagor instead of Justin Jefferson a couple years ago. That was a huge thing.
And mistake, yeah.
And now a bunch of people say Howie Roseman is the best GM in the league in the NFL right now because of the AJ Brown deal. That's why, because many people will now forget about the Jalen Reagor deal because of the new move he made. So yeah,
but they wouldn't have needed to make that deal, and then they would have got something else with that pick, that first round pick they got.
Exactly. But yeah, that's what the case is. But yeah, I also want to bring up one quick thing. As I mentioned earlier, the Milwaukee Bucks and the Miami Heat. The Miami Heat defeated the Milwaukee Bucks 119-114.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
And the Miami Heat scored 41 points in the fourth quarter.
Oh my God.
So that
was a terrible day for me. The Bucks lost and the Rangers lost.
Well,
and Rodgers got traded, but we won that trade. So that's probably the best thing that happened to me all day.
Yeah, that's for me too. My Sixers, my basketball team is safe right now until we get to see what happens in the second round. My baseball team is annoying me sometimes, and Rodgers got traded. So, yeah.
Oh, man. That's it. The Bucks are probably done.
I mean, yeah, probably. Even with Giannis coming back in, like the best player tonight for the Bucks was Brook Lopez, who had 36 points.
Oh.
So, yeah. I mean, if you look at Jimmy Butler, he had 56 points in the game. And the rest of the team had like less than 15.
Wow. Jimmy Butler, man.
That's what I always say. If we're going with GMs, that's my basketball team. We make the worst trades I've ever seen in a sports team ever. The Sixers made the worst ones ever.
Oh, they traded Jimmy Butler away?
Technically, we did, even though it was a sign and trade deal where we got something out of it, and then it kind of turned to a role for us. It helped us out in the long term for that one player. But we chose Tobias Harris over Jimmy Butler, is the famous thing known. And we got Al Horford in the deal, which Al Horford was garbage with us, but he's good for the Celtics. And Jimmy Butler was the leader for that team. He was helping this team and almost took the Sixers to a conference finals. You chose Tobias Harris over that, and that has hurt the Sixers since. But this year, it's a new team for the Sixers. But Jimmy Butler, he turns it up in the playoffs. That's what he's known for.
Damn. Well, ruined my night, Jeremy. I didn't look at this.
So, yeah, there was that. But did we want to talk about the draft guests and the whole draft for Thursday?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right. So this Thursday, this will be my 5th annual year of doing my 5th year of doing it, excuse me, my 5th year of doing the draft when I began my sophomore year in high school. I did it on Instagram live. That was fun.
You're right. Yeah.
I won't forget the first time I did that. It was when the Packers picked Rashawn Gary, and I was not pleased with that at the time because I'm like, why the heck did we get this guy? We just got we signed the Smith brothers. I was like, why are we doing that? That was annoying me a bit. Then I'm like, he's a good player after I looked at it. But that year happened, and then the next year I was streaming with you, I believe it was. I think, or no, it was 2 years ago.
I came on the Instagram live thing. I think it was 3 years ago.
3 years ago. Yeah. So that happened. And last year we did first time I did on YouTube, and this year I'll be doing it again on YouTube. So it's been a fun time doing it. It's always a fun time getting other people on and just like doing it because I always liked streaming the draft. I always think it's fun.
Yeah, I agree.
It always is fun. But this year we will be having some draft guests on, more than what we had last year when I believe we had 2 or 3 people, I think in total, besides me and Mike.
There's a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
It's like a party going on in the background. I can't even hear you guys.
I mean, yeah, so there was that. But this year we have multiple people from like one person. So in this, we will have a Texans fan, hopefully, Houston Texas fan, a Cleveland Browns fan, which is Zach, who was on here, replaced Mike a couple weeks ago, even though Mike was in his darkest retreat.
Yeah.
So there was that. We'll be having a Chicago Bears fan on. Hopefully, we'll be getting a Packers fan on. We'll be having some Baltimore Ravens fans on and Philadelphia Eagle fans. And
Nice.
if any Jet fans want to come on, go ahead. Mike's in charge of that.
Yeah, I mentioned to people, and people go, yeah, I'll join, and then they don't do it.
Okay.
But I'll ask again. Let me see if I get anybody.
Okay. But yeah, so in this, what we're going to be doing is like we're going to be starting the draft 7:30. We agree to. We want to do that.
Yeah.
Okay. Since the draft starts at 8, we're going to have a pregame to do some fun. We'll be having probably the Texans and the Browns fan come on during that time. We'll discuss football, discuss GOAT series, all that, because Mike has been very intrigued of the GOAT series and always wanted to hear his perspective from the GOAT series. So we're going to have that. And then by the 5th pick, we're going to have some other fans come on, or like the next couple picks, we're going to have them on like for maybe 10, 15 minutes, and then we're going to keep rotating out. And if they want to stay on for more and we don't have any more guests, they can stay on as long as they want. That's how it's going to roll at this point. So
yeah, I think it'll be fun. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of competition of people, on the draft. But hopefully, if you guys want to spend some time with us, that'd be great. If not, we'll have our own fun. So, that's going to be something to do. It's going to be a lot of exciting picks going on.
Yep.
I think we already know the number 1 pick being Bryce Young, so that's kind of not going to be a surprise. From there, I think you'll probably see C.J. Stroud come out pretty quick. Probably Will Levis at some point in the top 5.
I don't know. I've been hearing rumors that the Texans might not go quarterback in the 2nd pick. I've been hearing Will Anderson.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking that too. Should we do before we head off a 1 round draft?
Let's do it.
2 rounds. Then we get the Jets one.
All right, hold up. Let me just clear my.
We have a better website though than the last one. That one was crazy. Remember how many fucking picks we got from that? That was crazy.
Yeah, that one. I saw photos of that. That was funny. All right, let's see. We have to figure out what's a good draft site simulator real quick. PFF we already used. We did NFL mock drafts database. We already did that. What is this? Let me see. The Draft Lounge, the Ultimate 2023 NFL Draft Mock Simulator. I don't know if I trust that, but let's see what I do here by looking at it real quick. Oh, it's still it's still the mock draft thing that we used last time. Heck, no, I ain't even using that. What is there's got to be some good. Maybe let me try this. Draft Network.
Yeah, I've done those before actually.
All right, let me see if I can do this here. If I click on it. What the heck is it making me try to register for some reason? I'm not. That's fine. Okay, let me see. Do you have any draft? Do you want to figure out a draft site real quick for us?
Yeah, one second.
Okay. So I'm just seeing his best NBA. I'm not looking for NBA. I'm looking for some football, not fantasy football. That's later when I win my championship again, after winning my Yao Ming Trophy for fantasy football. No. Yeah, I can't find it. Like, if we want to do for my side, like we have to use the same one we used last time. I have PFF or NFL mock draft database.
What about Pro Football Network?
Let me try. Actually, this might work. Hold up.
I don't know if you can make a trade, but we don't need to make trades.
All right, that's fine. Hold up. Let me pause.
Actually, yeah, you can. You can make a trade.
Oh, sweet. All right, let me see. Normal. Wait, do I get to pick my team? I do get to pick my team. Sweet. Stupid ads. Hey, I got it. All right, sweet. Wait, oh no. That's not
Is
what
that
I
a
want.
problem?
It just started the draft as soon as I clicked on the thing. I didn't see draft right, and then it already goes. I already had the first 2 picks, but I think this is better, so I'll use that one. Spoiler alert: it gave me the first 2 picks, which is probably going to happen. So it's not that much big difference. So let me see here if I can pull it out of my thing. Where did I have the? Oh, there we go.
They've updated it.
Let me see here. All right. So can you see my screen?
Yeah. I can see Adam Schefter
Okay.
and Pat McAfee show, though.
That's fine.
I don't think I'm seeing the right thing.
This is not the right one.
No, you might have to hit square or share entire window or entire screen. Sorry.
All right. Let me try again. Hold up. Trying to delete all these tabs here real quick. All right, now we should be good. Let me just present my screen now. Shared screen. Pow. Pow. All right, how about now?
Yep.
Okay. So the first 2 picks we already have is Bryce Young and CJ Stroud. I don't think that's going to be much difference.
Yep.
All right. Do we want to propose trade or just keep resuming the draft?
Resume.
Okay. Will Anderson. Will Levis. Christian Gonzalez. This is a very more accurate thing than I've seen in the past. Oh, it did update the Packers. Sweet. Let's go. All right. Well,
No.
we lost our guy. Ooh, this is actually. Ooh, I like this.
Who's Jay Allen?
Josh Allen. He's a pretty
Josh
good
Allen.
guy. That's a very good edge rusher. He's a very good. What's the other?
I say let's just pick. Let's not
Cool.
try to. Yeah.
Reject. Anyway, all right. So, what do we want to go for here? Offensively, I assume here we could take.
I think we gotta go Skoronsky.
We could also take Quentin Johnson.
I don't think they're gonna go him. I think he's too short.
All right, I'm fine with. All right, let's take it. Beer Skoronsky, welcome to the Packers. Anthony Richardson to the Patriots is mock too. That's interesting.
Should we pause?
Yes.
So, do you want to try to get up to the second and to the end of the first?
Yeah, I do that.
Try to get one of these tight ends, or
Yeah, let's do it.
see who falls to us.
Because none of the tight ends have been taken so far yet.
What do you think we'd have to get to? Like, this one doesn't tell you the team needs, or does it? Is that what the unlock thing?
So, I guess that's what. Oh, let me see here. Team needs. Oh, sweet! It gives me it.
Okay.
Bills are out. Ravens are out. Texans are out. Broncos are out. Bengals are a team to watch out for. Jaguars. Where else? Jaguars, Bengals. The two teams I'm looking at so far. Lions, Panthers, Saints. Yeah, only 5 teams.
All right, let's keep going. We got. I'm good with Kincaid or Mayer, so
Okay.
or Washington in theory, but
Because if we get past the Jags here, then there's probably not going to be tight end till maybe around like this area.
yeah, I think that's good enough options that we could kind of keep going.
Oh, there we go. All right, so Brian Branch and Cam Smith. Bijan Robinson to the Cowboys. Interesting. Do you want to make the trade yet or just keep waiting?
I say keep waiting.
Okay.
Not the first then. All right, stop. Ooh, Zay Flowers just came off. I like him.
So that's the okay. So now no tight end's been taken. Do we make the trade now?
I don't know. You think they could?
I feel like
I mean,
we have.
if we let's try to get to maybe like the Cardinals pick.
Okay. I feel like there was some team before us is going to take it. No. No.
Hey, stop.
I fear the Panthers, Saints are a team to watch out for.
So you want to try to get up to the Seahawks pick, see what they want?
I tried maybe the Raiders to be a little cheaper.
All right, try that.
Oh, this is interesting. What the heck? They can't get the NFC West.
You can't
Well, that's-
scroll.
It's not letting me for some reason. What? Okay, well that happens. All right. Neither with the AFC West.
Can you scroll with the your mouse thing? The
I'm trying to do that. Nope,
Yeah.
it's not letting me for some
Actually,
reason.
I have it. 1 second. I have it. Oh, mine is like zoomed out. It's weird. Yours is zoomed out. Maybe just zoom out. Could take control and then the wheel.
Where's that? Control.
Hold control and then zoom out with the wheel.
No.
Let me see. Yeah, that works. Hold down control and then zoom, and then roll with the wheel.
I'm holding it. No. All right.
You know the wheel on your mouse. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Really? It's doing on mine. Oh.
All right.
All right. Whatever.
Let
Yeah,
me let me just try. Let's just try here. I want to see the first 2 picks to see what happens. Nope. Okay.
Oh, there goes one.
That was the team I was trying to trade to, but that didn't happen. Okay, so I say we trade to the Colts here.
And get Mayer? Yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay. Bang.
What do we want to give him? Can we give him? Yes, he's trying to give him 45, 116. Or is that too high?
That might be a little too high. I think maybe a 4th or 5th.
Try to give it 207. See if they take it.
Dang it.
Yeah, they didn't take it. Ooh.
They already took a player. All right, let me try and propose trade for the Panthers. All right, so 45. And then a 4th I'll do.
What?
This is some bull. All right, I think I'm gonna have to take a risk. Oh my! You've got to be kidding me!
Oh, they took both. Oh, we needed to make that trade. Damn it!
Son of a! This is so annoying me now.
All right, whatever. We just keep going.
This is the next. Either this one or that one is the guy we have to take. Now we get offers.
All right, so let's see.
No.
No, reject both.
Ooh, a 2024 second round pick.
Nah. I mean,
Okay.
it's not a bad pick. Yeah. I just probably not a bad trade, but I'm not doing it because it's a waste of time.
Exactly. All right.
No, we're not just picking a tight end. I don't think that any tight ends is worthy here at all.
All right.
Who's on the boards though?
We got Hyatt, the wide receiver. Harrison. I want to see something here real quick.
Honestly, I was listening to Andy Herman this day. Apparently, this Jamar Gibbs guy, the running back's real good. I honestly would almost pick him here.
This guy, Grossi likes a lot. If you look at his stats, he goes crazy this past season with when he had 20 tackles for a loss, but I don't think it's necessary for us to get him. But he would be a very good fit for Packers, I feel like. But that's on the 45th pick, so I'm not going to be worried about that.
Yeah, let's see. I'll go back to all. Damn, losing all those tight ends is real bad.
Yes, it is.
I'm almost saying let's go to the running back.
This high?
Yeah.
With Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon?
Yeah.
All right, screw it.
Apparently he's gonna be real good. What's in the I gotta watch him after this. I say let's go him. Have some fun with it. But I mean, I obviously want the tight ends, but they took them all. Damn it.
Wow, that might made a very big difference there. No, I'm not taking that. Reject. Cool. All right. I like to see.
So you get the pick. You want to go defense?
I want to see defense here. I just want to see what the available options we got here. I mean, we don't really need a defensive tackle because we already drafted Wyatt, so there's no necessary for us to do that. Edge is a concern in my opinion. Safeties, this is a terrible safety draft class. Offense. I mean, Harrison is good, but at the same time, we already got our guy. We got Pierce Karonsky, so it's no good for us. I'm feeling more of a defensive round here. I'm feeling like taking this guy that Garassi loves.
It's fun.
I'll take him.
Did we just do three rounds?
Did we? Oh, I don't even know. Wait. No, we didn't even do 3
We're
rounds.
just doing two?
Yeah, we should too.
Sorry, we don't need to do the whole thing.
All right.
Well, sorry guys, we failed you.
So much for that.
I mean, I like the Pierce Karonsky pick. I just wish we probably should have traded up. I mean, when it goes to show you what we learned there is the Packers gonna have to probably trade up. There's no way they're gonna stay at 42 or 45. They're gonna one of those picks are gonna trade up.
I think they're going to. Yeah, I definitely see because of the 42. I think we're going to get trade definitely in the second round.
The question is, they might need to trade up at the first round pick too.
Yeah.
Which I don't think they're gonna. I think they're just gonna stay at pick. But I mean, honestly, I'm kind of all in on Jackson Smith and the Jigba.
Same here.
If for some reason they can't get him, like we couldn't get him, that's gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll see. That's why you guys got to join in on Thursday.
Exactly. That's what we got to do.
Join in Thursday. We'll find out for real. It won't be our shitty mock drafts. Sorry. Bad mock drafts. My bad. Bad mock drafts. What do you call it? It'll be the real thing. So hopefully it won't be a bad real draft.
Exactly. All right, folks. That does another edition of PackReacts. We appreciate you listening in as we've gone over 90 minutes on this of Aaron Rodgers has officially became a New York Jet today. Packers get some good draft value, as Mike explained. Pretty much won the trade unless the Jets win the Super Bowl, which the odds of that, slim to none. But as Aaron Rodgers always says, never tell me the odds. So we have to see what happens. But where can the folks find you, Mike?
Find me on Twitter, Arvo15, Twitter, the PackReacts podcast page, and on Instagram on Titletown Memes, which I'm going to have that post stuff that I just showed you guys. That's going to go up on there as well on Twitter Yeah, that's basically it. And Reddit, Arvo15. But yeah, I haven't been posting there in a long time.
Yep. And you guys know where to find me. I already posted my mock draft video. If you guys want to go check that out, Mike would not be shocked if who I take for the Packers first round pick. But there are some mystery picks. I have some bold takes in my first round mock draft, so I'd like to see what happens there. But yeah, so I have that. We're having the draft stream. We go in Thursday night, 7:30 is when we're going to be starting. So if you want to get on and watch us, go ahead. The draft doesn't officially start till 8. We'll be having some guests on there. Other videos are going to be coming out soon. I'll be going back to the GOAT series, but not right now, just because school is a little busy right now with finals coming up, and so I got to study a little bit here and there. But I only got 2 weeks left, so I'll be done then. So yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, as we always like to do as a tradition, what do we always like to say, Mike, at the end of our streams?
Pack up.
What do we say?
Pack up.
Pack up. I think you heard something different here.
Go, Pack, go! Go, Pack, go!
Go, Pack. Go. No, but that's gonna be a new thing. We're gonna add that. You better be adding it as the outro.
I will be adding to the outro too. I'll be adding that Brian Gutekunst as acting as baby. We'll be adding that into it, so we make it more fun. But
He's acting as the jet, the fireman Ned, Ned of the Jets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're having that as our outro, folks. But as we always like to say here on the stream, go Pack, go. Have a great
Pack,
night.
go, guys. See you for the draft.
Yes, we will.